dealing with Samuel L. Jackson. The boys and I doing a profile on Samuel L. Jackson. He's been married he's been married since 1980.
Yeah.
And he's one of the most prominent, and also one of the most, he is the most successful box office artist for all time.
Film.
Cinema box office takings. He's gotten the most takings from any actor ever that they've had on record. He's the most successful man, and he has a strong, stable family background, and that was the thing that got me. It wasn't the thing so much of him making money, or being successful within the box office. It was the stable family background that he has, and that helps to give him a decent foundation. So we know that the female will help the male, whether for good or for bad. But again, it's about the choices that we make, the choice that we make of what we're going to do, what kind of partner we're going to have from there on in. You know, and we're talking about, I heard what you said about the head of the male being bruised. And you said that the female doesn't always know. And you're quite right, you know, because what we do, because I was thinking, of course we know I'm in a damage. Of course we know I'm in a bruised up all over. Of course we know. We know that, don't we, sisters? We know that. But then I thought about when we have a nice, smooth-talking brother come along, and he looks good.
Like Samuel L. Jackson.
He's looking after his children. He's doing the little bits that he can, and then we end up in a relationship with him, and we end up bruised and damaged as well. So we don't always know. You're quite right in that respect.
Okay, it's very interesting that you mentioned Samuel L. Jackson, because there's the Hollywood link there, which I really want to touch on in a bit. But I've got a little breakdown for bruise out of the dictionary. You know, we like to look at words and really analyze words, because sometimes we use them all the time. We don't necessarily really understand more than a surface understanding of the word. So I've got for bruise out of the dictionary. Noun, an injury appearing as an area of discolored skin on the body caused by a blow or impact, rupturing underlying blood vessels. So really it's talking about underneath damage, below the surface damage,
internal,
that we may not necessarily be able to see the fullness of thereof. The part that you can see that is on the skin may be just a small tiny fraction of what is actually the real damage. It's got a similar area of damage on a fruit, vegetable or plant. You know, you go to buy some fruits and they, you know, you turn them over to see which part is damaged, right? We'll see where the bruise is, because you don't want the bruise up one. Or we shouldn't want the bruise up ones. You know, some people still buy the bruise up one because it's cheaper. You may get some money off because it's bruised. You know, you go at the end of the day and you get the dregs for a little or, you know, for little or nothing. You know?
That everyone's touched up, by
Everybody's
the way.
felt up and squeezed up and damaged up, you know. And we think, no, but it's serious. You know, we think it's a bargain. And in the sense of us as a people, we are picking up brothers and sisters who are damaged and bruised and thinking we've got a bargain. You know, it's the same kind of mentality, you know. So bruise, to inflict such an injury on someone or something, to hurt, bruise someone's feelings. Yeah, she tried to bolster her bruised pride. You know, someone's feelings are hurt, but you can't see it because it's under the skin. It's a bruise, but sometimes you can tell by their countenance that somebody has been damaged. Yeah, to be susceptible to bruising, crush or pound something. Bruise. Yeah, the head of the male has been bruised, so you may not necessarily be able to see that the internal has been bruised, but it has definitely been damaged. There is a lot of damage in there, basically. Yeah. Back to me notes. Unscrupulous traders often display fruit that is bruised with the bruise hidden underneath. It is often these same traders themselves who damage the fruit in storage or transport. Yeah, there's a link there to us being damaged in storage and transport by the same people who try to hide the damage. Yeah. Those traders still want to sell the damaged goods to us in the same way as if it was undamaged. We are not alert oftentimes, and when we are not alert, we can be caught out by the deception and will purchase, ingest and consume inferior produce, thinking that it was good, wholesome and undamaged. You wanted to say something, sister?
I did. I was going to say the person who's handling, the handler, who's the greengrocer even, who handles the fruits and they on the market stall, and they have the fruits and they bruise them up and damage them up based on the way that they handle them. And that's like us within our community, that the people who are the so-called experts mishandle us every single day. And sometimes, you know, as a fruit, we don't even realise that we're being mishandled until we take it out on our children or our husband or whatever when we get home. You know, they're supposed to be the experts. They're supposed to be the ones who know how to handle the fruit in order for it to stop being bruised. It's like when we go to the supermarket, you know, if you go to Tesco's or wherever, and we're packing up our stuff at the end, the person who's packing up the shopping should know how to pack shopping. Don't pack the chemicals with the food. Don't put the eggs on the bottom of the bag. Put them on the top. Rest them on the top, and then that way you know that they're not going to get broken in transit. But they don't do that. All they're doing just a very functional role without having a proper understanding of the care of the fruit, or the care of the mind, or the care of the people.
The fruit of the loom, the fruit of the womb, the fruit of Islam, the fruit of Satan. You know, these are all products of something. If you just joined us, brothers and sisters, we're looking at girls, guys, guns and gangs, but specifically girls. It may not seem like it at the moment because we're talking about fruit, but we're talking in a very lateral way in order to, you know, we say shoot crooked to get straight. That's how we say it in the Nation of Islam, in truth, you know. Okay, the fruit handlers. You mentioned Samuel Jackson a minute ago.
Yeah.
And that's the...
Sorry, can I just backtrack with something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because the Honourable Elijah Muhammad said, before you try and teach someone something, they want to know how much you care. And how much you care is based on the way that you handle something.
Come on, sister.
So because we're being mishandled, we know that they don't care. As soon as it is, the Bible says, if a man asks for bread, don't give him a stone. Even if they don't need bread, they need a stone.
That's right.
You know, you go through what they think that they need to get to where they are. So we got to go underneath one another and pick one another, lift one another up. But again, that goes back to care. If you handle something with care, then you know that you're going to help to preserve its life and prevent it from being bruised any further than it already is.
Handling is the key word. Handle us. Handle us. And those who have been handling us, as I was about to say, the Hollywood link. Yeah? How has Hollywood handled us? They have been giving us images, nice images sometimes, or what seems to be a nice images. You mentioned Samuel L. Jackson. But oftentimes the image that they've given us, right, as handlers of fruit, they've been giving us a damaged image of the black man. A dysfunctional image, the thug life, the gangster, the gunman, the top cop who goes around blazing guns and, you know, it's a fantasy figure. We've been given an image of a bruised fruit, but that bruised fruit, the bruise on it is not visible. It's turned around. So, you know, we're seeing the good side, the glamour side of the fruit, the shined up fruit. Yeah. So if I go back to my notes, in the 80s to the 90s, rap was a conscious medium of the street. Now, and we know that the music industry is like another arm of the media. That's obviously the audio side of those handling the fruit. Yeah, but they did exactly the same thing. At some point,